Konnichiwa, hajimemashite, Kunie desu. Now, first off, I'd like to say I'm sorry if I haven't been uploading any videos recently, especially for the Unicum guides, which you guys consider to be your favorite part of my channel. And I'm also happy to say that I'm officially off college. Yay! I'm finally unemployed. I just graduated last June 11th. Um, it was quite rather a tear-jerking moment because I'm not young anymore. Well, so much for being 20 years old anyway. So, anyways, what I've been doing recently is that I've been playing other games. I've been doing some projects and stuff. I've been selling some on my anime shop. So, anyways, let's get on to this video. This video is just going to be covering about this game. Now, if you notice that it's a very different game. It's not World of Tanks, but it does have a World of Tanks feeling to it because this is WarThunder Ground Forces. It's got planes as well, as you can see here. Hold on a minute. There we go. There is my Spitfire. Yeah, I know. It's quite too much of an otaku. It's got an otaku feeling on the skin anyways. Well, why not? I can't really deny that I'm an anime lover. But yeah. And we also have the Hurricane here. Really an amazing machine. And my favorite bomber, the Blenheim Mark IV. Just looks really amazing here. So when I first played this game, it was a really big change of pace for me. I did play WarThunder before, all the way before I even started doing videos for World of Tanks Blitz, and it doesn't have the arcade-ish feel. It is mostly on the simulator side. It's realistic. Basically, it doesn't have the hit point system like what you'd see on World of Tanks. Like you need to finish off the guys by keep on shooting him until his hit point goes low. How it does is that you need to disable a tank by taking out all of its crews. There, taking out all of its crews, or aiming for the ammo rack over here, or it can just keep the guy set on fire by just aiming on his engine here. So it was a really big change because I was used to an atmosphere wherein you had to finish the enemy by eliminating or reducing his hit points as opposed to just damaging him and getting him disabled with shots on the crew or even on the ammo. Even though World of Tanks does have that system wherein if all of your crew member dies, your tank is destroyed, or if your ammunition just gets detonated, if you get ammo racked, you'd get taken out of the game. So yeah, pretty much that's all I can say about WarThunder. It's got a realistic feel. It's not as forgiving as World of Tanks, although it does offer some fun. I'm really having fun with this game. My friend apparently just dragged me around to play this game because he said that, oh, Kunie, you gotta play War Thunder again because they've got Centurions, and pretty much, if it's anything related to the Centurion, go ahead, you can throw me all of it. I'd really love it. And yeah, I can't really remove my love out of the Centurions. So yeah, I'm grateful for my friend Epic Axe Guy. Thank you so much for getting me into this game, and thanks to you, I'm loving the Centurions even more better. So anyway, recently I've been playing War Thunder, and I could say that I've made 50% progress each of the nations here. Though I haven't really started playing the Russian, the German, the American, and the French lines. All because that I kind of feel like the Russians, the Germans, or rather the Americans, are too overrated, even though some people say that they're really the best tanks in the game. But but you guys know me, I prefer a tank that really needs some challenges to play and such. So I've played a lot of British. I'm already halfway through. I'm nearing to researching the full incarnation of the Centurion, which is the Mark 10, as you can see here. I've also made progress on the Japanese line. I'm already on the Cheeto. I'm eager to get myself onto the Type 90. though some people say that the Type 90 is bad. We'll never know. And on the Italian line, as you can see here, I've got myself the P40, which is, in the anime Girls on Panzer, is Anchovy's favorite tank. We've got the Anzio logo here. This is basically just a mod that I downloaded off the website. And my god, it looks really amazing. There's also the premium version, which is the P40 GC Leoncello. And anyways, basically, I can say that I am pretty much a noob in WarThunder because, god, I'm still trying to adapt to the gameplay, even though that I'm already getting used to it. I'm just, like, getting into the used to it. I'm not really the best player. I'm not the really good, like the super good, super duper good in WarThunder or in Blitz, even in Blitz. But I can safely say that it really takes time and patience to learn to play WarThunder, because if you try to treat this game like all the tanks, you're gonna die early. So anyways, for this video, I'm going to show you one of my first carries in this game, because what happened was that I got myself onto my P40 Leoncello on realistic battles, and my god, we were already on the verge of losing. So thankfully I was able to do a lot of carries. It feels like I was on Young Street again, because I've done a lot of carries in Blitz, and pretty much one of those remarkable carries was the Centurion Mark 10, or rather the Centurion 7/1. God, I'm getting used to WarThunder. So anyways, we're going to take a look at the replay of what happened on that carry. So here we go. We're going to load it up. So here we are. We have spawned in our P40 Leoncello, and we are playing on the map Karelia. Now the Karelian World of Tanks is so different, and basically this map is a death trap, because if you go in there and the enemy is just sniping from the other side, you're gonna get killed, basically. So I don't want that to happen. I want to try to find a way to flank around. Maybe if we can try to go over there, it would be nice. And unfortunately for us, we get stuck. We get stuck on a rock. Thankfully our friend decides to push us out. So now we have the opportunity to go on the flank. Now the P40 does have the ability to do some flanking maneuvers. It's got decent armor to somehow shrug off some rounds. It's got a decent gun, though not the best penetration. Penetration is good, not the best. So anyways, I see that there is an M24 trying to cross. Now this is realistic. I'm playing realistic battles in this. It's so different from the arcade game type of this game, because in arcade you can see your enemy's tanks, which you'll see on top of their tanks, but in realistic you won't see it. So the way that you'll see an enemy is that if you see something move, that's an enemy. If you see something move without a tag, that's the enemy, and you have to make your shots there. And we see that there is someone in there. The Chaffee has made a way to try to flank, so me and my friend decide maybe we have to go in there. So we are squadded up with Mangbodok 32 in his Panzerfair F2. He's got a decent gun. Decides to be a bit aggressive here. This Chaffee bounces onto my ass, and we put a shot into his turret, disabling his gunner and loader. Now we have to go after. This M5 decides to defend his friend, and thankfully put a shot, but we're not going to finish him off. We'll leave him meat for our friend, because I want to go after with this Chaffee. I want to get rid of this Chaffee. The Chaffee is one of the seriously potential opponents here. Seriously dangerous, rather. So now I decided to back off a bit, because he may be leading me to a bait, but I decided to take the risk anyway. Our friend was able to finish off that M5. The Chaffee fires smoke, so he doesn't. So he can be hidden. So he's ganged up with a friend there. I don't know what kind of tank is in there. We'll never know until we peek over. We have to find a way to really get in there. We have to flank. And there's a ZIS-30, but once I got the camera on this position, I saw that there was a ZIS-30, and the ZIS-30 is one of the best tank destroyers on the under the Russians for its rank. It's got a potential. It's a gun. It has a gun that can potentially knock us both out. I don't want to risk it. The Chaffee fires. He baits. Unfortunately, we don't get baited, but our friend does. I'm gonna go over and try to finish off that ZIS-30. Unfortunately, we hit the Chaffee, but we damage his breach, which means he can't fire. And we finish off the ZIS-30. Now we have to finish off this Chaffee before his friends come over to help. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, gun, come on, gun, work. Thankfully, we knock him out. Now, we have to fire smoke and get the hell out of here. We have to retreat. Now, I noticed that there's a T-34 on the there's someone flanking. There's a T-34, but I didn't see it until I came over there. I just saw on the minimap that there was someone flanking our team. Now we have to go after him. Come on. We have to go in there. We have to go in there. Finish on the T-34. Now, the T-34 is one of the best tanks for its rank. Sloped overall, hard to pen. If your gun doesn't have the penetration, you're gonna have a hard time dealing with this thing, unless you shoot on the sides or the turret. And thankfully, we finish him off. Now, the P40's heat ammo has 100mm of penetration, which means it can go through the T-34 without any problems, though it still has a potential to bounce. Our team is basically just sniping over here. Both of the sides here. I decided maybe I need to go find a way to go turn the tide of the battle, because the battle is not really in our favor. We only have a few people in the game, while the enemy still has a lot. I'm going to fast forward it. The next few minutes may be the most boring part of this video. I decided to go a bit fast forward on this. At this point, I didn't really want to go in there because there may be someone who's hiding. I'm gonna slow it down a wee bit. Now, coming from over onto this ridge, we see that there's smoke over there. That was a cannon fire from the T-50. I knew it was a T-50. I just didn't want to shoot on him, all because that I didn't want to compromise my position. Because if they do see me, they can put side shots and I could be finished off. So maybe we can capture A. I decided to fire smoke from the back. Now, the problem with the P40 is that it fires smoke on its rear rather than on the front, which gives it a disadvantage when you're trying to retreat reversely. But if you're going to retreat and relocate, it comes in handy because you're firing smoke on the back, which means you can run away without the enemy even knowing where you're running off to. The reason why I wasn't able to capture A was because I didn't put my tank near onto the center, near the white lines. You had to be inside the white line to be able to capture it. So I thought that maybe there was someone around, lurking around, stalking me. If it was realistic, you wouldn't really see the tags, like I said. So anyways, I decided to then jump onto the opportunity, go fast forward it a wee bit. So here we are, we're starting the cap. I look around, you have to be vigilant, and we see 2 bombs dropped in front of us, but thankfully, we are okay. We're okay, we're still in the game. We only lost 2 crew members, and we got our transmission damaged. Probably the enemy team is onto us now. Somehow we have to delay. Things aren't really looking good in our favor right now. There's still a lot of enemy tanks, and we only have a few left. Come on, we have to try to carry this game. Now that we finished capturing it, I need to go back. I need to go onto the map, because I noticed when I looked on the minimap, our team is being camp spawned on. Now, camp spawning is a common occurrence in this game, because once all the points have been captured, the tendency is that players will go onto the enemy's base and then camp there, sit there, and just try to pick them off. Now that is one of the most one of the most dirtiest methods that I've ever seen. And we see that there's a Valentine. He doesn't see us, but we see him. Hello, and good night. Amazing. So, as I was saying, camp spawning, I fully disagree with this strategy because I feel like it's like a no chance. Like you're giving the enemy no chance. Well, it's already a common saying that try not to give your enemy a chance to recover. But unfortunately, I somehow just don't agree with it. It's kind of like unfair. It's not fair play or something. Sorry if I stopped on here because my friend was typing. He was trying to invite me onto the next battle because he left already. He was already taken out. Now we see that A's being captured. I have to go back in there and try to save him. I'm gonna go fast forward the replay of me. So now I try to go around. Maybe there's the one who captured it is still around. There's no one in here, so we have to capture it again. We have to capture it again. Have to stay here until the cap points is under us. Now we notice that someone's firing on our back, and it may be a plane. Yes, it was a plane. That plane sounds like he's so desperate to try to take me out. Now we can see that the tide is in our favor. Our team has recaptured B and are trying to do some raiding activities near C. One of our teammates is camp spawning. God, please don't camp spawn for the love. So anyways, you can see that another plane is ever more desperate to try to take us out. I decided maybe it's time to replenish my crew because my tank is not going to be good without a fully, even with like a 3 out of 4 crew. So I decided to replenish while my smoke is regenerating. The planes are still going after. I fire smoke so we don't get seen. But it's gonna still be pointless anyways because he knows where we are. So anyways, now that we have used up our crew replenishment, it's time for us to go on the offensive. There's a BT-5 there. Because I can see because there's his tags in there. I pause for a minute here, seeing if I'm noticing if there's someone moving. Unfortunately, I don't see anyone moving, so I decided to move. And I see that there's a BT-5 from this camera. I decided maybe we can put a shot onto him, maybe finish him off. Unfortunately, it misses. Come on, this BT-5 fires and we bounce, and we finish him off, thankfully. Now we have to find the rest of his team. Gonna speed up a little bit here. So boring. There's an M3. We finish him off, put a shot onto him. Unfortunately, God, that speed, replay speed. Anyways, we finish off the M3. We've secured our 7th kill. We have 2 damage assists. That M3 didn't really see us. He's got his turn around. Unfortunately, there's a bomb. We have to drive away. Thankfully, we're saved by a last minute. So the enemy is really getting desperate to try to take me out. So now I noticed on this point that there was someone moving on the area. There was probably a BT tank. When I saw there was someone moving, it looked like a BT. I decided to go and engage, and he's trying to turn the tide of the battle on his team's favor. He's trying to capture B, but how can he turn the tide when we have control of 2 points? Now this BT is gonna run away, and he sees me, tries to engage me. I finish him off. Good night, sweet prince. It was nice knowing you. Now I decided to put everything into my hands now because I want more points. We've secured 8 kills and 2 assists. fast forward it so we can get boring. Oh, by the way, since we are playing the P40, I think you can't play the P40 without anchovy. Anchovy, guys. Anchovy, guys. So now in the anime, Anchovy said that the P40 is certainly going to be the weapon. Like she said, now that we find this with this weapon, we can defeat Ori, but they couldn't, unfortunately, because the tanks were rather weak. Maybe maybe the only tanks that they had were the 7-Mente 75/18 and the P40. So they decided to go a bit aggressive here. The enemy is trying to really surround the guys trying to capture C. I decided to go ahead, go forward. I see that there's someone who fired there. Now, insofar, it seems like we have possessed the spirit of Anchovy here. Even though that she was arrogant, short-tempered, we still did it. We were guided by the shots of Benito Mussolini. And we see the ZIS-30, we fire a shot. Fortunately, it doesn't do anything. But thankfully, the ZIS-30 gets finished off by the Sturmpanzer near the cap. And basically, everything else from this point is just a mop-up. Maybe we can still try our luck. Finishing off that M16 rather. And those planes are still ever more desperate to try to take me out. So pretty much from this point, this battle is already in our favor. We were only a few inches from losing, but thankfully we turned the tide of the battle around. We had the best tanks, if you noticed. We still had some well-armored good tanks, while the enemy only had lightly armored tanks, mostly rank 1s. And now, this battle is gonna be over in a matter of seconds. I didn't really see the M16 there. I decided to just go forward, and this just marks the end of the replay. So that was an absolutely amazing round. Let's go take a look at the after game stats. So that was an absolute monster of a round. It seems like Anchovy's spirit was with us. And we picked up 8 kills, 3 damage assists, and 3 zones captured. We had 3,848 points scored, or rather we gained 3,848. And then we made 99,000, almost 100,000 silver lions, and 11,000 research points. And we secured a lot of awards, and we were on the top of the list as well. So that goes to show just how effective the P40 can be in the right situations and the right hands. And basically what happened was that I didn't really carry, but it's one of those battles where I did really well. So there you have it, that was the replay. And if you guys are gonna ask whether if I'm going to still play Blitz now that I've invested time and effort on WarThunder, I'll still probably be playing. I'll be playing Blitz from time to time, but I'll be playing more on WarThunder just so I can be able to know more about this game, because WarThunder is basically a hard game. It's not an easy game to play. I'm saying that's not easy because for the reason that it's realistic, it's not as forgiving as World Tanks. Although you need patience. You really need to be patient and try to take your opportunities. When opportunities arise, you need to take it so you can put yourself and be effective in the battlefield. And as much as you can, try to really aim for the side shots or rear, so you should have more chances of finishing the enemy off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider giving it a like down below, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below of what you think of WarThunder. And if you guys ever play WarThunder, don't hesitate to send me a friend request so you guys can catch up with me and such. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You've all been awesome, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video and the battlefield.